Alright, good evening everybody. We are back in Arknights again, and I'm going to start reading the Stormwatch event. I say reading because we start off with reading, and because this is like 200,000 words, if I don't actually read it on stream, and I just do the stages, I am never actually going to read it, and I would like to read it. But most importantly, this isn't a time exclusive events, so I don't need to worry about having everything done by a specific time period. Well, I should say, the event stages aren't time limited. Although I guess, I guess more stages aren't time limited these days because then they get put into, side story, but some of them, like Dust's Holiday, don't. So I still have to drop everything I'm doing and do those events prior to them running out. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. Victoria's 7th Frontline Battalion, 2nd Tempest Platoon, makes landfall in County Hollock. All I know about this is that Ireland woke up today and decided to choose violence. So we are going to burn London to the ground. The hibernating mountains carry smokestacks high, and the tracks run hauling my home with creak and cry. I found an acorn rolling in the gutter all alone, and right by a rivet rusted all of its chrome. We've entered the warehouse. Investigation team. Report status. Leader. Vital signs to the southeast. 7 shelves away from you. Moving within 1 meter. Number of hits? 1. Any Origidium response? None for the time being. Good. Hold your positions. Bagpipe? Got it. What are you looking for? Doesn't it sound like someone's singing? Don't get distracted. This means our target's guard is down. Keep to the plan. Wait for my signal, then you charge. For now, keep moving in. 5, 4, 3. Ready? Bunker destroyed! Back! What's going on? All this smoke out of nowhere. Don't move. Stay where you are. Raise both your hands up. You're Victorian soldiers? What do you mean by that? Aren't you Victorian too? He's looking to run. Cello, watch to intercept. Leader, he's not heading for the exit. He's turned back. Triangle. Target heading for the back shelves. If you pick up any Originium response, open fire immediately. Everyone else form behind my shield. Quickly. Bagpipe, what are you doing? I'm covering it. Everyone run! You... Leader, no Originium response. It's not a bomb under Bagpipe. Oh. False alarm. And the target? Sorry, I knocked him a little hard. He won't be standing for a while. In one of the boxes. I'll take a peek. All potatoes and carrots and cauliflowers too. I squashed them flat. Shame. They seem just fine for eating. Stay alert. this one, and this one. They're all the same. Leader, it's all produce and grain in here. Triangle, watch for anyone else nearing our perimeter. Oboe, you search the warehouse with bagpipe. Signal on any discovery. Jello, take this man stuck on the floor and tie him up. Ugh. Right now, sir, we're going to need you to answer a few questions. I don't know anything. I'm here for sorting the potatoes. Are you from County Hillock? Yes. Have you heard of any Spectre Force? Spectre... what? Doesn't Force mean people like you lot? All the soldiers? They took Lori, Julia, and Chris away. Is it my turn now? I want you to calm down. Listen. We have people who saw a bunch of Originium goods enter this warehouse late last night, and now those goods aren't here. You need to give me an explanation. Explanation? That's what you're looking for? You're not just gonna hang me? Hey, what are you spitting around for? You've gotta care about hygiene. Any leads? None. It's potatoes everywhere. If our information wasn't wrong, then there must be work... then they must work a fat... Scottish people. Then they must work a sight fast. Alright. Brigham, he definitely knows something. He's just not willing to open up. There it is. You're all the same. Dying to find faults in us, torturing us, you Victorian oppressor beasts. Huh? Again? He thinks calling another Victorian counts as an insult? Flying over my head. Leader, incoming! How many? Prepare to break up. Yes, leader. Update, leader. They seem to be our own. They're in here. Leader, we're surrounded. Going by the numbers, yes. If you listen to the voices, there doesn't seem to be too many left outside. If I crack the wall behind me, then we've got our chance. Don't get hasty. I see you've had a very fierce confrontation in here. Rita how do you say her last name? Scamandros? Rita Scamandros, 7th Frontline Infantry Battalion, 2nd Tempest Platoon Leader. Nice to meet you, Lieutenant Scamandros. My name isn't too easy to remember. You can just call me Horn, Captain. Very well, Horn. I'm Kelly Lewis. I'm sorry, codenames aren't our style. Captain Kelly, you and your troops are presumably also here to investigate this warehouse. Correct. We have received the tip-off, too. Then you ought to understand how grave this situation is. A great deal of illicit Originium goods were stolen off a military transport a couple months ago, and ultimately came to vanish in this region. I need not remind you, Captain, with this much ordnance, coupled with recent thefts in surrounding counties, fallen into villainous hands, the menace posed will reach far beyond County Hillock. Thank you for the raid, Bloopadoop. 6 people. That's pretty impressive. How are you? Good. Thank you for the rundown. I understand. We're very thankful for your cooperation. Hill. Take this young man, this suspect, back to camp. It's going pretty good. I just started reading, Chapter 9. I decided that I'd read Chapter 9 on screen. I usually don't read the events because they're time limited, and I ain't got time to do that on stream. But since chapter 9 is not time limited, I'm just gonna read it on stream. That way, because I've already skipped Oslo's Holiday. I skipped Who Am I, or whatever it is. And I skipped most of Halseth's event, Walk in the Dust. So I need to have some reason to actually be reading. What? It was mad for us get. Dang it, Bagpipe, why do you gotta be so Scottish? I can't read you. What? It was mad for us getting this man as our lead. Sir, her spear is obstructing fulfillment of my duty. Bagpipe, let it go. But our mission! We're on Hillock land right now. Captain Kelly pulls a handkerchief from his pocket and wipes the sweat from his forehead. Very glad we could persuade you, Lieutenant. You and this young Volree lady, and all others present. You must be certainly worn out by your hard journey, dashing here from Londinium. Yeah, it apparently was trumpet originally, and for some reason they went with horn. And it's like, what kind of horn is it? Is it a French horn? Is it a trumpet horn? Is it a bugle horn? Like, what horn are you? I think trumpet makes more sense because that's a specific kind of horn. May as well just call her French, which is equally possible since Victoria is like half French, half France, except France doesn't exist anymore anyway. It's our duty as soldiers of Victoria. Yes, quite right. Now, if you still have any intention to operate in County Hillock, we're obliged to continue tracking the thieved Originium goods. This is an order from Londinium. I imagine Colonel Hamilton would see sense too. Of course, you may accompany back to camp. Leader, do we really have to give him up to them? They have to be doing this on purpose. Ever since we touched foot on the outskirt plate, they've been following right behind. Right until now, just as we caught him. Station troops of the Empire have a responsibility to address any threats to public safety that arises within their station. They haven't violated any code. Alright. Captain, he's yours. As per code, we may also take part in the investigation. We hope you recall. Yes, quite in line with code. No, let me go! Don't take me! Help me. Save my soul, I haven't done anything, I don't know! Alright, thanks for stopping by, Bloopadoop. I hope you come again sometime. Hill. Or a rabble like him always make a scene like that. Take him away. Really? What gives them the right? Leader, I think that Wee Feline wants to help him. Scared to death of going with him. Triangle. Here, Leader. Still in position outside in the same tree. They haven't noticed me. Good. Take the reconnaissance group and keep investigating along nearby transport routes. Found any leads, immediately report back. Understood. Are we notifying their barracks? No need. Be sure to defend yourselves. A well-hidden enemy might as well be a ghost. Okay, this looks like a shooting gallery. I haven't pulled out the no blockers for a while, so why don't I do that? Let's put Robin in this squad. Not Robin, let's put Frost in the squad. Frost hasn't had much fun lately. Frost and Jessica. There she is. Alright.
Let's work together.
And I won't bring a support unit. Doesn't seem like there's anything of value here, but...
Doctor.
I think I covered support unit today. Yes, I did. Okay, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's just go with that. And I'm gonna switch Ethan for Manicore. Manicore hasn't... Actually, no. Keep it with Ethan. Yeah, yes, Santa, that is an ominous title. You see, Outcast, I love you! Very unfortunate thing about Outcast. Spoiler for anyone who, is actually invested in the story that I'm telling. Turn your mic off right now. Outcast is dead. Yeah, we, this is not a spoiler from the story. We actually know that Outcast is dead because we get that information in Integrated Strategies from a year ago, and then the Rhode Island workstation furniture pieces refer to Outcast in the past as well. So we never actually seen Outcast until this chapter. But unfortunately, we already know that she's dead. She is Granny Cowboy Angel Lady, and I love her. I only wish she just wasn't dead. And the reason for the ominous title, Sano, is because in Fantasy England, colonization kind of took over Victoria, which was previously ruled by Dracos, dragon people, who are extremely Irish. And then they kind of threw the Irish people under the bus and sort of wiped them out. But there is still a an heir to the Draco lineage, and her twin has decided to basically burn England to the ground. No political commentary here in this game. No, sir. Ireland is never pissed. That definitely wasn't a thing 30 years ago with Northern Ireland, and still isn't to this day, only it's not as violent as it used to be. And not talked about as much, but it's still a problem, isn't it? County Hillock. Medium-sized nomadic city. Modest distance out from Londinium. Main pillars are agriculture and light industry, not on closest terms with surrounding counties. Full match to the intel describes. Outcast, you there yet? Just made it a minute ago. Did you still have a tracking device on me? I've called you like 15 times since last night. I took the wasteland route, as if I'd have a signal. Okay, let me get this out there. I'm not the one in a rush. Misery's pushing it. You know how he is, the warrior. Not my fault he can't chill out. He's all wound up, even out on a mission. It's like, is he looking to sprout some more wrinkles? Wouldn't be Misery if he was anyone else. Fair enough. Seriously though, any thoughts on the city? Extremely normal. Intel might be faulty then. It's at least 30, 40-ish cities in Victoria at that scale. No matter how bright the Londinium sun shines, there'll always be places its light can't reach. You've seen the files. You should know County Hillock doesn't have any noble at the reins. The Count showed interest in the city, but never saw it through. Because I won't make any money? Yeah, all because of how ordinary it was. But the more normal a place looks, the better it is to hide in plain sight. No matter when Rhode Island decides to get moving, this is a good opportunity to scout the way ahead. Gotcha. Just call me if you need support. I only just geared up to head for Connor Cali. I'm still close by for now. Resettling effect is not easy work. I'm on basic chore duty compared to your mission. Probably down at the branch office drinking tea more than half the time. Give me a break. With a storm like this coming, is a sancta like you gonna be happy chilling with a cup of tea? You know, I'd love to live it up like a retiree. Wonder why I'm not convinced. Whatever, let's just get our jobs done and head home as soon as we can. Unrelated outcast, I remember a bunch of green sancta operators waiting for you to hold marksmanship courses. Relax. They need some free study time every now and then, too. Also, I know it goes without saying, but Misery won't get off my back about it. Be careful, outcast. Hope it all goes smooth. Smooth? Sorry, kiddo, that's just not me. "6:50 a.m. Overcast. Interrogation room, County Hillock of Victoria Barracks, outside corridor. Leader, it's so stuffy in here. There's no ventilation or nothing. You said the same during the stocks and serial bombing interrogation last year. I'm not gonna get used to it, no matter how many times. You might call it Cello instead. With her being over 2 meters tall, she could scare them into behaving a bit. You punching a clean hole through a steel table frightens suspects just as much. Lost my head a bit there. He took 2 children and then he sat there being so snarky about their family. Didn't that steam you as well? Was I steamed? He left fingerprints on his imprisonment device with how hard you squeezed around his neck. He pissed himself right there on the spot with the shock you gave him. Got his co-conspirator's name and the bomb coordinates right out, all shivering. That was mostly your credit, wasn't it? It was a necessary means of interrogation. Oh, I've never been good with those means. I passed basic interrogation theory by the skin of my teeth. Always copied my friend's homework, too. Then you're in luck. Our principal role today is sitting on the table, listening. Thank goodness. Actually, it's almost noon, isn't it? Why's nobody come to bring us in? Didn't that captain tell us it was going from 7 o'clock on? It's still 4 minutes to. Excuse me, is Captain Kelly present? We're scheduled to meet him here. I'm not sure. Is there an interrogation set for 7? I don't know. Yesterday afternoon, we had a man suspected of smuggling illegal originium goods. Do you know where he's being kept? I don't know. That's 3 strikes. Well, it surprised me if Connie Helix keeps a slightly different time to Londinium. Is that a thing? Seems at least to Captain Kelly it is. I suppose we'll just have to do as the locals do. It's 10 minutes past now. Checking the time over and over won't bring our colleagues here any faster. Perfect, in a way. I need to talk with you about that false alarm of a battle yesterday. Huh? Leader? You aren't getting one past me. I'm asking you. When I gave the order to withdraw, why did you jump at that crate instead? Weren't you yelling for the others to withdraw? Before we entered the warehouse, you ordered me to make sure to catch the suspect alive. That was the initial order. But orders are orders, right? We all thought the suspect set off a bomb, didn't we? I judged as that I was the only one with the chance to complete the mission. If I could block the blast wave, I could keep the suspect alive. And you'd all be safe and sound, too. Of course, I had no qualms about your shield, leader. I remember what that time you saved me. Under all that artillery fire? From the Sargon marks? Because I'll never forget that. That's not what I'm talking about. If, and I'm only supposing, there really was a bomb inside that crate, you would have taken grave harm. Possibly even thrown away your life. Eh? No way. There weren't any explosives that high-spec in the stolen goods. Even if somebody modified them secretly, the force wouldn't be any stronger than the fort crackers we use in combat exercises, you know? I can take those. Don't be overly reliant on your Volraine constitution in battle. How many times have I told you that? 5? 10 at minimum from my memory. And I can't imagine Slim didn't teach you that too. Might have taught me that. Your smile beaming has no effect on me. I'm your leader. I'm responsible for the safety of everyone under me. Sorry, leader. You know what's coming after we return, don't you? You can have me run laps, no problem. But I'd hate to go without supper. There's times I have no idea how I should handle you, Bagpipe. You're the most outstanding soldier under my command. Your obstinance goes right along with your combat skills, constantly exceeding expectations. Well, it's gotta be that way. My mom always told me when I was little, all brave women gotta see things through to the end. Not even a hurricane means much of anything. If you can't harvest all the wheat before it bogs down, your precious grains go all moldy. I was not singing your praises. Forget it. No matter how much I scowl at you, it'd be a miracle if it reforms you any. Believe me, leader, you've got a face far from scary. I've seen plenty enough with sort of eyes all bright telling people all sinister things with all the most worst language Victoria has to offer. Enough. Meaningless platitudes like this won't affect a qualified Victorian serviceman. You mean to say... this... does it have to be this way? Damien. No, I mean Barry. He's a good one ever since he was young. I can guarantee he simply took a long turn. You're absolutely right. My apologies. Yes. I will follow orders. Yes. Those Londoners are still here. Understood. I'll pass down the instructions, sir. My assurances. I never forgot. I am first and foremost a Victorian soldier. Leader, you're checking the clock again. I'm not like you. I can't go blank anywhere anytime. Honestly speaking, I heard that feline from the warehouse in my mind. I still properly like the song he sang. I imagined a bit, don't know why. That song would be lovely for singing alongside Dractorin. The hibernating mountains carry livestock herds. He's staring at me. Was that singing out of tune? You remember the words wrong. Oh, wasn't it livestock? Was it buildings or something? Tillers? You, Hollylock pal over there, do you know what song this words are meant to be? You shouldn't be singing in here. Sorry, did I violate any of your rules? At the very least, don't go singing that bunch of songs in front of us. That bunch. What bunch? I don't get what you're saying. Are you fiddling with me, Volreeve? Huh? What's got you angry now? Bagpipe. Can't shake the feeling something's off kilter. You can save it for later. I'm not talking about leader. I think I just heard somebody in there singing as well. You're right. A matching tune comes from the depths of the dimmed corridor, of a deeper tone, rougher, broken off by a few fierce coughs from time to time. You think the man's in there? Hey, you're not allowed in! Oi! Are you the one we caught yesterday in the outskirt warehouse? You mean Damien? Oh, Damien. Got dragged off ages ago. When? How did we not hear? Where did he get taken to? Where? Huh. You're asking where? He's already... Shut up! Would you like to go the same way he went? You're threatening him. Why? Where in the world did that man go yesterday? Went home. Went home? He got let go? So he had nothing to do with the Spectre Force at all. Leader? Let me in. You aren't allowed to converse with a prisoner without permission. I want to see Captain Kelly. Step aside, soldier. I know he's in here. He is not. You were the adjutant of the warehouse at the bile mouth. I remember you. What's your idea here? The captain left on urgent business. He asked me to pass this on to you. The interrogation ended 1 hour ago. So you mean you went and gave us the wrong time? A lapse in communication. Not uncommon at all, is it? A bloody lapse in communication. Do you think we're idiots? Leader, they gave us false info. Led us up the garden path. That's not the key point. I'm asking you, soldier. Why did you show up to tell us this information now? That you bided so much time, surely none of you will mind us wasting even more. In regards to your question... Water report. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Thank you. Acknowledged. Lieutenant Scamandros, the order I received was to inform you of the following. Okay, hold on. My phone is both blowing up, my dog is outside my window, and everything is just popping off. So please, enjoy my be right back screen. Of course, now there's no music happening, so wonderful. Guy outside my house is crazy yellow right now. Convict Damian Barry. Your individual of utmost concern was, 10 minutes ago, in an attempt to interrupt to seize weaponry from his escort and assault military personnel, shot dead. What? What bloody nonsense are you feeding us? We've seen that lad. He's just a normal man. He was frightened stiff when he saw us. How would he go attacking a fully armed regular by himself? That is to say, you summarily executed the suspect without trial. I relay to you the facts. Leader, we've been put in the dark. Why wouldn't they let us have access to the suspect? Aren't we stood on the same side? I'm still unclear about their reasons right now. The one thing I can be sure of is, if we want to continue investigating, we've only got ourselves to depend on. The attitude the barracks have is loud and clear. They won't be of any help to us at all, whatsoever. Not daft either. I can see they've got a mean habit of tripping people up. So what do we do next? We've scarcely got a lead, and it's gone again. We need to think of some other way. Oh yeah, I just thought that man called Damien, he said his work was sorting the potatoes. Every outer agricultural plate in a nomadic city got its own channel for transporting crops inward. We should be able to find the farm workers' settlement by following along. If we can have a chat with his friends or kin, we might find our lead again. The very you train of thought. Then you just leave the information inquiring to me. Excellent. We begin immediately. And now my dog is scratching at my door. I love you, Pearl. Hold on. I let her into my room, she looked around, she got bored, she left. Hopefully that means she won't come back. Leader, you gonna come with? I'll stay here to negotiate with the barracks. To my mind, they wouldn't slough out an execution without going through interrogation. As long as they held one, there will be records left behind. Triangle? Leader, we were in the outskirts. You got ambushed? They came out of nowhere and I got rumbled. This lot's combat and techniques and weaponry, they're a full match with previous intel. Even Snare's arts can barely hit them. Damn it! Remember, your main duty is to come back alive. Acknowledged, leader. We should be fine. Triangle out. This is major intel. Our target, the force they call Spectre-like, in County Hillock this very moment. Okay, finally, we get a stage to fight.
それじゃあ出発しようか。みんな、僕のルートに沿って行動してね。
A sniper in the Dublin forces. Dublin with an extra N. Definitely not the Dublin of Ireland. Oh no. When refraction is active, resistance plus 70. This is one of the main gimmicks of this event. Is these guys all spawn in with extremely high resistance values. So arts damage doesn't do nearly as much. However, you can silence it. Which is actually really rare because Lapland used to be the queen of silence, and she still is. She's the most consistent silencer in the game. But the issue is they started introducing so many enemies that silence just doesn't work on, that people stop trying to silence anything with Lapland. Because they just assume it won't work. It does work with these guys, though.
Don't let them get the drop on you. Setting up. Deployed.
絶対許しません。
問題ないよ。誰が戦場で旗を武器にするんだよ。
Yep, and it's the same guy. When refraction is active, resistance plus
Laying
70.
out the welcome mat.
手加減はしませんよ。絶対許しません。
It's probably just going to be these 3 enemies to start out with, so I don't expect to have much trouble.
Set.
絶対許しません。
やってみましょう。
これが戦場というものね。絶対許しません。
Deployed.
手加減はしませんよ。
Everything's just dying to Alsta.
僕が行きます。
Mission accomplished. やったー！作戦大成功！テキサスさん、私の活躍見てくれた？
Ah, delicious LMD, I need you. Alright. So yeah, that was, an organism controlled by the Dublin forces. They were originally purchased from a mercenary group. Equipped with a refractive mask crafted by shadowcasters, they are rather resistant to regular Originium arts. A scout for the Dublin forces. With superb concealment techniques, they are the cornerstone of the Dublin forces' guerrilla maneuvers. But with a refractive mask crafted by shadowcasters, they are rather resistant to regular Originium arts. A sniper in the Dublin forces. The crossbows they wield bear the signs of Columbian modification. Equipped with a refractive mask crafted by shadowcasters, they are rather resistant to regular Originium arts. So they have like 0 resistance normally. So if you can silence that, they have 0. But otherwise they have 70. Kind of an interesting way of dealing with resistance. Also, if you notice, the recommended operator levels for this are much lower than those in Chapter 8. They kind of did a Fire Emblem... Yeah, see, that's Elite 2. And this is just, like, Elite 1. They did a Fire Emblem Heroes thing where you can start playing this chapter after Chapter 3, even though this takes place after Chapter 8. And they just set the difficulty to roughly after Chapter 3, so around Chapter 4. The mechanics are what make the fights difficult, though. The stat levels aren't particularly difficult, but the mechanics are what makes it much harder. Let's just go for it again. Those standing in the sunlight haven't yet noticed the shadows gathering atop their very heads. Oh hey, this one has holes in it. So... where there is holes, there must be shifters. So instead, for this one, I'm just gonna go down the list. There. Go with that. Oh, we actually get to go right into the fight. I need a 2 blocker there. Oh, I don't have a single healer. That worked. Oh, big guy. Oh man, he is quite heavy. He does not want to move. Get out of the way, buddy.
すぐに解決いたしますわ。どうぞ続けて。おもちゃで遊ぶのもここまで。
突発百中楽勝。欲しいぞ、もっと来いよ。
Oh man, that almost failed.
機材の重機消えろ。
Goodbye.
攻撃。
Goodbye.
素人は崖から落ちちゃうって決まってるんだよ。
No problem. There was no risk of failure. I don't know what anyone's talking about. 7:11 a.m. Overcast. Rhode Island County Hillock Branch Office. Morning, everyone. The weather's not bad at all today, wouldn't you say, Uncle Oliver? Oh, it's you. I was just asking who else could be knocking at the crack of dawn. But it's a gloomy day today, no matter how you look. What's to appreciate? Anytime it's not raining, it's good weather. That's what you get in County Hillock. For that matter, how do you know the day's not going to turn clear skies? Fine, you got me there. Shredder, you stop dilly-dallying. We haven't got anyone dropping in, it's just Janie, Daily Ditcher. You're one to talk, Shredder. You come over here with us. I brought you a coffee pie today, and some shortbread. Daz sent me some tea last week, so I bought that too. Uncle Oliver, is there any evaporated milk left? Leftovers started molding ages ago. The bloody man never remembers to go buy any. Isn't it your turn on the shopping? Or am I hallucinating somehow? Fred! Will! We need your thoughts too. Alright, alright. It's not worth crying over this little spilled milk. Look. What's this? Fresh, new evaporated. And some cheese, too. Picked them up along the way from the morning market. Here. You can have them. I've always wanted to try making milk tea for forever now. I think you'll like it at least, Uncle Oliver. Still no one more considerate than you, Janie. Well, you'd better learn well. At least don't start acting like that man over next to you was Shredder for a code name. The shortbread tastes delicious. Alright, Miss Willow, isn't your senior officer going to get on your case for running here every day to bring us breakfast? The Victorian Army's rules are a fair deal strict, if I recall. You don't need to worry about that. I'm a guard of honor. I'm only good for big events or recruitment drives. They don't have much use to put me to. Sergeant Major wouldn't even think about me most of the time. Besides, it's not like I don't do anything proper. Every morning when I get up, the first thing I do is pull this banner off its support. While I wait for the flour to ferment and the coffee to brew, I'll straighten out the creases bit by bit. Once the shortbread's done, that means I have to wash the flour off of me. It takes time for my hair to dry naturally, and that's the perfect time to care for the flagpole. And let it shine like brand new. Uncle Oliver, don't rush to pick up your tea yet, it's still too hot. For a complete morning, everything needs to glow gorgeous. No exceptions. Only then can I bring joy to you all. That's my life's creed. What's the pie like today, Shredder? Want any more? Perfect. It's like every day before. Really? Let me try some too. Seems like I put a little too much sugar in. I'll make sure to watch out for that tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to tell you off for being lazy like they do now, Miss Willow. Janie. That's what everyone calls me. Alright, Miss Jane. My honest fear is that they'll want me spending every morning as amply as you do. No need for that. I'm not like any of you. There's only so much I can do for the people here. I think the tea's just about the right temperature now. Just make sure to stir a little before you drink. Ugh. You sent the ball flying again, Craig. I'll go get it. Oh, it went in the building. If you actually hit any of the grown-ups, then you're in for it. Last time, didn't Carol get... Someone's come out, let's run! Whose ball is this? Is it yours? Craig, come on, run! Forget the ball! No, that ball's left by my dad. If you're too shy about it, I won't hand it back. Come on. Hold your hand out. Are you gonna beat me? Why would I beat you now? Your clothes got dirty. Huh? That's just me being careless, it's no matter. All the other grown-ups like you, they don't care if it wasn't me who got them dirty. They always beat us. But not with their hands, they kick us instead. They shout aloud. Oop, accidentally went fast. To scare us off. That means they're definitely not your friends. Do you live around here? I think I've spotted you before. Doesn't your ma sell apples at the crack of every dawn? Down the alley in District 17 nearby. Your family's apples are scrumptious. Not too crisp, but still very, very sweet. Perfect for making apple butter and spreading onto bread. How about this? I'll put the ball on the windowsill here, and you come pick it up. Okay. Yeah. Hold on, slow down. I've got tea in my hands. Got your hair all wet. Let me wipe that for you. I'm Janie. What's your name? I'm... Craig, it's your ma looking for you. Quick, you've gotta go. Got into a commotion outside. Children playing ball. Bunch of rotters all higgly-pigglied in the street first thing in the morning. Bet it was them that broke that last window pane, too. Children, you know? I broke the man next door's flower pots when I was young. And my dad gave me a real talking to like that. You laid hands on that boy. Just now? Yeah, if I didn't wipe his hair clean, it'd be all sticky all day. His father passed away half a year ago. Poor bloke. Had oropathy. There's a lot because of that. Won't dare touch him. Oh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna skip this. My audio's getting crackly.
お手本のような勝利でしたわ。あなたはいずれきっと
Yay, more LMD.
ど
I'm
ん
getting
な
lots
弱
of
小
free
生物
LMD.
よりも優れた方になるのでしょうね。
Okay, hold on. Restart. I still have no idea why that is caused. Annoying though. Real annoying. Sano, don't expect book club tomorrow. You have to read to me, remember? This is your book club right now. You get to read about Arknights.
Arknights.
I think that was Hilliger. I don't actually have Hilliger, but I believe that's his voice.
ドクター
I have played this game quite a lot, to the point where I can, recognize many of the characters in the opening screen. Okay. 32 times speed, 32 times speed. Yes, I know, I'm on Be Right Back. Hold on. Workers, fairly strapped for cash. That Orion byproduct processing plant has a partnership with Anika. But they won't give the full amount of prophylactics. I have no idea what a prophylactic is. I'm not a mind reader. You did it yesterday, so I just assumed you were going to do it again. I'm not a mind reader. I am a scientist and good at observing repetitive phenomenon. Remember that. Isn't it lactic acid? Isn't it lactic? Well, it has lactics, but it also has this middle part in front of it, prophylactics. It's normal for you to hesitate. In their neighborhood, it's about 1 in 5 houses turning out to have oropathy patients. They care for one another in a sense. The soldiers weren't here. Shredder, you've lost track. Alright. Just stating facts. I've heard how my coworkers treat the oropathy sick. No. Not just the sick. They've got the wrong idea about all the residents. I don't think the same way. We're all Victorians, aren't we? Their days might be hard on them. I understand full well. But I hope for them to live a little happier too. What do you think? Should I have been even better to that child? Don't force yourself. What's the long faces for? I'll bring the playing cards out. Wasn't it you who suggested a spot of tea with those cards, Miss Jane? Yes. Will's right. It's sense poking out for once in a while. Let's not waste the good weather. Take a seat, everyone. I'll pour you all some tea. There's still plenty left in the pot. Is that me who's won again? Still too early to be full of yourself. You're on shift tonight. What? How's it me again? Not clicking? That was our stakes. Whoever won at cards is on broom duty. File sorting, buying us all afternoon tea. Can I get a redeal? Uncle Oliver, your jokes are putting Will in tears again. Isn't that the fun of a game of cards? One small tip. Next time you try second deal, remember to watch behind you. What? Who's talking? And on a side note, the tea's an excellent brew. Hello? It might you be? She came in suddenly. None of us noticed her. They call me Outcast, my young Volrain beauty. I'm sorry. I tasted your tea without asking. Seeing as I rushed all the way over here, I hope you don't mind much. Feel free. If you haven't eaten breakfast yet, would you like to try some pie I baked? Might be a little sweet. I'd love to. Everyone who knows me knows I love sweets. Especially the Victorian kind. You got it baked like this to fancy, adorable perfection. Thank you for the encouragement, Lady Outcast. Outcast. Nobody calls me a lady, really. I'm more that last type. I know who you are. I remember now. Will, clean up the table quick. Quick! Thought you'd be here 2 days later. Last message you said you'd pass the border. Couldn't help it. I haven't been to Victoria in a decade. Some parts are a little bit more crowded, but just like me, the years are starting to show in a few places. If I hadn't hitched a ride the wrong way to County Peninsula, we wouldn't have met last night. Ugh. I'd have your understanding, please. County Hillock's not the biggest spot on the map, and we rarely get elite operators at our branch office here. Last time I was out near Meadows on field duty, I met Stormeye. It was 2 years ago already. Lead operator? Just the name sounds like a force to be reckoned with. Rhode Island gives different work to different people, that's all. Besides, I'm pretty much just a civil servant now. I only came to County Hillock to fetch some data. You're too modest. On the topic of data, did you want to see our finance forms first? Or the ledger for our inventory in out and stock this half? Oh, your beasties. We're not that pressed for time. No need to hurl a starving girl like me straight into work. It's only fair to let me steal a breather here and there, right? I can sympathize greatly. Hope I haven't disrupted your little aw here. Outcast casually picks up a card. Thin. No more than paper. It spins 3 times and a half in her fingertips. That is gone in a swish. Well, where'd that card just go? Right here. It's back! What kind of marvelous spatial arts is this? Just a little sleight of hand. I've got this gloomy-looking friend who taught me. Whenever I want you to concentrate on my fingertips, this method works wonders. All a little more relaxed now? Please, sit down. Oliver and Shredder. Will, what's you there, kiddo, standing in the corner? You must be Fred. Put that folder down and come enjoy a little break with us. Chance like this doesn't come every day. Wait, are you sure this is okay? Or would you like to see a magic trick where in 10 minutes this haggard stranger from out of town dies of boredom? Let's sit. Please continue. As for me, I want a proper taste of this fine black tea with evaporated milk. That sweet, scrumptious pie. There's no more shortbread left here, if you still feel hungry, that is. Thank you. Oh, now this dessert hit the spot. My stomach hasn't been this happy in a while. My tongue was beginning to really miss flavor. Now you, cute little miss. I'm Jane Willow. That's a lovely name. I'm gonna guess you're old enough to drink. I've long since been of age, last outcast. I'm serving, after all. Oh. That gray Victorian military uniform sure falls flat under your shimmering blonde hair. Oliver, count yourself lucky. No matter how dull or cloudy it gets, you've always got your sunshine indoors. True, true. Little Janie's brought us a mound of happy days. Listen to you, Uncle Oliver. You're the one so kindly letting me in while I've snuck off from the barracks. I was actually a little tiny bit surprised seeing you get along as well as you do. Jane, if all Victorian soldiers were as lovely as you, we'd lose at least half of those awful rumors making their way across our world. Thank you. If I haven't misunderstood, I assume those are compliments. Even on my way here, I saw some not-so-pretty sights. But anyhow, that's not going to dampen the joy of meeting all of you here. I'm very glad I could meet you too. Well then, a toast for our encounter? I came here in kind of a hurry, so I could only bring some regular old gin. With way too much lemon, because that's how I like it. You folks might find it a bit too sour. We don't really drink on work hours. Killjoy. Alright. That's on me for being sloppy. As a Rhode Island operator, I can't be an exception. Let's just have some tea. So, who's dealing next? Me? Need a little blessing from a sancta? Look at her smile, she's so beautiful. I love you. In this city, there's either conflict or the rumblings of it. It's where's the lighter of this fire hiding? The heck kind of map is this? Okay, I see. They're all gonna funnel into here. And if they get past here, then I'm not gonna have a good time. Okay. Okay, so they introduced a new type of material in this event. This is one of the reasons why I have to do this event. Because to get these materials, the only way to currently do that is to clear Chapter 9. And like half of the new units at least need to touch this or this, and then there's another one like in a couple stages that is blue. And they suck. They all suck. If you want to do anyone new, you have to get these materials. So you have to grind for them, and grinding event stages for anything is horrible. As the wind combs through golden wheat, the forest wild, with pipes of steel clank and beat, I found by the edge of a plate my dear love true, and following a firelight straight from the blue. So that's how the second half of the song goes. Sad. Now Damien's gone, and you won't even get a decent burial. They'd never give him back to us. All they do is scorch him to ash, shatter him off the city, treat him like the dirt under anyone's foot. First it was Lori. It was Chris. Now they've caught hold of Damien, too. Renee. When Shane got arrested, they all said he'd caught orpathy. No, Ronan. Don't go on. Shane, he just caught it being careless. He was a hard-working, loyal man. Poor, poor man. And the only thing he ever wanted was a better life for me and my son. Renee, haven't you figured it out? We're just a bunch of rivets to them. Of course they'll throw us away without a care when we rust. Even if we haven't rusted, so long as we don't fit too well in the city's machines, we've got the same fate coming. Nothing changes. We never gave a shit if we were catching orpathy one by one. Every month they give out those drugs, the other workers get their whole lot, and we can only expect a half, maybe even a third. And the protective suits. How long has Shane been wearing his for? 5 years? Bloody hell, 7? How many times have you snuck out of bed at night just to patch it up? All those laws, all those standards just for their benefit, and us? We're only fit to eat the potatoes and the rotten apples they don't want. It means nothing that the ag plates of this city soak in our sweat. We're only fit to waste away our lives day in and day out in these factories. It's once we can't work a day more, we fall ill one by one, just like they wanted. The way this is going, it's like they're sitting there playing dominoes, wiping us Terrans off our own city. Stop it. I'm begging you, Ronan. Nothing you're saying will lead to any good. Just look at Cloydna and her kin stood over there, crying over their own son. Their own brother. How many more loves do you want lost? How many more hurting over what your anger did for them? The murderers that brought this hurt. They're killing us one after another. Times it's with sickness, times it's with mortar shells. Granted, don't you deceive yourself any longer. This morning a few came looking for me. The O'Briens and Connor's brother. They decided to join us. It's been hard getting by for you and your kid, we understand. The big moment. To help each other now more than ever. You better keep far from me and my child, Ronan. Seeing as my Shane got on well enough with your lot. I have to go, Grenay. See that one over there? Wearing that uniform. You know our rules. I trust in you and I'm asking you to trust me more. If you've made up your mind, you can go tell Sorors. Say Orsi. Orsi. Getting a quick drink of water. And now I'm out of water. Hello. Hello. Do you know Barry's, Damien Barry's family? I heard you singing just now. I'm not in the wrong place. I don't know what you're searching about for, but Damien's ma and sister know nothing. Then did he have any especially good friends, or anyone who worked at the warehouse with him? We know nothing. That's the truth. I'm begging you, please don't take me. Huh? Sorry, did I get too close? I got no intentions of hurting you. seem awful scared of me. Something on my face? Nothing at all. If you'll allow me, I need to go home. I still have so much fruit from this morning, and it'll go rotten in no time if I leave it alone. Ah. Is that Captain Kelly? Laudna. I just want to see you for one moment. I want to know if you and Fiona are still alright. Yes, it was my mistake, but... my hands were tied. Of course I remember. I remember it all. Damien. He was the boy of my sister. I watched him grow up his whole life. The day I was transferred back from Peninsula to Hillock, he set up a mail device in my cap in his own 2 hands. Still so little then. Sorry. I shouldn't be telling you all this. You're right, I've been good for nothing. I haven't the face to return here. I wasn't in time to stop him when he got involved with that group. I couldn't disobey the Colonel's orders. Not just that. I have to do this. It's all for County Hillock. I love you all. And I love this city. I just can't stand goggling while that bunch tear our home to pieces. I understand, Claudna. My sister. And I'm not asking your forgiveness or anything. I'll be going then. You and Fiona be sure to take care of yourselves. If I can find the time tomorrow, I'll come see you again. What are you? Oh, just a boy. Are you hurt? Don't run too fast now. It's been decades and they've never leveled this road here. Traitor! What did you say? Traitor! Frank, what are you doing? Get back here now! What's that ball in your hands for? Oh, forget it, you're always gripping that ball wherever you go. Were you off looking for Connor's brother again? Oh. Yeah. Arden's told you, hasn't he? Your hands. Covered in black. Like you were digging through a mine. You come with me to the morning market from now on. You can't be looking for them around this time anymore. Can't let you become like them. Raider. Boy. Wasn't one bit wrong. The captain stands still for a moment, repeating the word once, twice to himself, finally turning to leave. His head is hung low as could be, and he doesn't meet the gaze of a single person more, including those young colleagues of him that rush his way. Hold on a moment, Captain. What are you all doing here? Pack off home if you know what's good for you. We've told you, you're not allowed to congregate on the streets at this time. This is our home, it's not us who should go packing. Who had the lip to say that just now? What are these? Wilted leaves? Step forward right now. You Tara rabble. Watch I don't. Brandishing a bolt on the street's far more dangerous. Who are you? Ah, I'm here on orders. Come to investigate the case. You're here for the murder at the bar? Or what murder? This rabble right here. They've killed plenty of ours. Damien Barry? Right, I hear he's been put to death already. I suppose it was you lot who caught him. Nicely done. Thank you. We didn't know yet when we caught him. Was he really part of the Spectre Force? Who gives a shake what he was? Serves him right to be dead. Did you hear me? No congregating! Each and all of you up to whatever secret business here, you'll all be treated as suspects. You bloody Tara-ass lickers. Don't get carried away. Look, most of them are just plain city folk, with a loved one dead and they're grieving here for him, like human nature would. A rotten potato? See? You spoke for them and you got battered, right? You're so keen on staying here, stay. As long as I make sure this rabble behaves itself, I'm done. My rotten luck for getting this patrol duty. Your riffraff will say it again. No congregating. Oh, it's just more and more rotten leaves. Come this way. What? Reporting in. Ninth Defense attacked. Reporting in. 13th Defense, currently in firefight. Send notice one more time, please. I want to see Colonel Hamilton. The Colonel's handling urgent affairs. You said that 2 hours ago. I've already abided by strict process. I submitted a description of my duty yesterday when entering County Hollock. If the Colonel won't let us take part in suspect interrogations and goes to lengths to execute them beforehand, and presently refuses my request to meet him, to anyone else, don't you think this conduct might be taken as a deliberate hindrance to our fulfillment of orders? I have no authority to answer your question, Lieutenant. That's fine. I'll say my part, and it's enough if someone listens. I've said before, the Originium products thieved are not small in number. It's sufficient arms to allow a detachment to attack a small town or bomb a medium nomadic city's support tracks. Who'd want to obtain these products? Ordinary bandits wouldn't need them. It costs too much to smuggle them out. With Victorian military goods in this great a bulk, even a Sargon black market, under Columbia's protection, wouldn't dare provide a means for a deal. Who else is left? A local private arms dealer? Money making off the costs of remodeling? They haven't got the appetite, let alone the guts. Only a well-trained unit, well-versed in military methods, would dare take it. And could evade our spies on top. If this unit got hold of that large quantity of Originium product, what would their goal be? Conspiracy to overthrow? Taking the chance to embezzle far removed from Londinium? Colluding with outsized powers to fill their pockets slowly and steadily? Lieutenant? No need to panic, this is all just baseless reasoning. No thanks to whoever's keeping me waiting. Can't get anything done like this. Direct communications. Lieutenant, the Colonel says he'll be here immediately. Okay, Dublin Shadowcaster. a caster. Okay.
Don't let them get the drop on you. I've got eyes on the hostiles.
Do that.
通りにしますね。
Deployed.
動かないで。ああいう雑草ならたくさん見てきましたから。はい。
Oh yeah, Penenko's very strong here because her S2 both does arts damage and it's silence for 6 seconds.
主のな
絶対許しません。はい。
Knock him dead, Alsta.
ライブスタート。動かないで。
Okay, that works.
信号は安定。いつでも信号は安定。誰が戦場で旗を武器にするんだよ。
はいはい。私が何とかします。
Oh yeah, she just
私の
melts
出
him.
番かな。 私たちならで
Welcome set.
皆さんの援護は任せてください。
I expected that to happen.
ここだここ。目の前真っ暗になってみた。私の出番かな。
全員倒さないといけないですか？
チェンさんの剣術がこの剣を流れ、パワーエネルギーに気をつけてね。ええ、こういう香りは好き？
問題ないよ。
Yeah, that's potentially pretty bad.
戦場なんて久しぶりだわ。
Fortunately, Frost can kill these guys pretty easily.
Laying out the welcome mat.
この剣が私を。
Okay, I see. If I don't take down these caster guys immediately, then we deal with the little problem that is many casters doing damage.
はいはい。私が何とかします。
Okay, I totally get it now. All right. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a busted run. I get it.
どうすりゃいいんだ。暴力じゃ何も解決できないけど、お前を料理するには十分だぜ。
わかりました。
Come on, Ethan, go, Ethan, go, go, go. Okay. Nope, he died. Alright. Alright, but I know what to do now.
何があったの？
So it'll be fine. Okay, do that.
I've got eyes on the hostiles.
絶対許しません。
信号は安定。誰が戦場で旗を武器にするんだよ。
はい。皆さんの援護は任せてください。私は一歩も引きません。
Laying out the welcome mat.
ライブスタート。 はい。
Okay, Ethan died. That was within my expectation. Or Alsta died. That was within my expectations.
これが戦場というものね。
問題ないよ。
どこに行けばああいう雑草ならたくさん見てきます。
誰が戦場で旗を武器にするんだよ。
だった
問題ないわ。はいはい、私が何とかします。チェンさん、私は一歩も引きません。
I'm sure this is fine.
やってみましょう。
信号は安定。
どこに行けばああいう雑草なら。
即戦即決。
Yeah, we're fine.
手加減はしませんよ。わかりました。位置につきました。
Yeah, I'm doing like no damage to them with arts.
この剣が私を舐めるなよ。
So I need Ethan back. Alright, we're fine. Yeah, now that the casters aren't congregating there, it's gonna be just fine.
気を確かに。絶対許しません。
Mission accomplished.
Ugh. Took a Pelton and then some. It's Captain Kelly in the end. Here, take this hanky. Wipe yourself off or else the smell of those rotten leaves will stick to you. Thank you. Didn't imagine any of our soldiers apart from Captain Kelly would visit District 17 on their own. Our soldiers? You mean like, you're one too? I slipped out in secret. Can't do that in uniform. You're not gonna make anyone happy taking a shortcut to the barracks through here with that get-up. Really? No wonder. I barely said anything for it was a bombardment of all gone-off leaves and fruit. Are you a new transfer? Kind of. I'm here from Londinium. Well, Londinium. I've never been. Must be miles larger than County Hillock here. Does the shard really go 300 floors up? Is there really a teleportation circle buried in the mound under the Royal Victorian Academy of Science, leading to the miraculous space where the first Draco King's jewels are kept? Jewels? Never even heard of them. But I do know what the high-speed terrestrial warships look like when they leave the factory. And I've seen the hydroponics workshop. If you want to know anything of that sort, I could definitely tell you. Warships? Hydroponics workshop? Doesn't sound too much like Dinium in the novels. Oh, sorry, don't let me distract you. If you want to investigate, it'll probably be hard to ask on any of these streets. Might end up like this again, with getting a stink all over me for no reason. Got off late. You're not that stinky. Do these residents often have clashes with us soldiers? Used to just be minor friction, but it's been getting tenser lately. It's like you've been hearing. There's been several cases of our soldiers getting targeted in attacks, and it's stretching everyone's nerves close to the limit. Could it really be the Spectre Force? That's weird. Do didn't really target ordinary soldiers before. Hector, what are you going on about? Nothing. Speaking of, that patrol just now calling the people here terror rabble? Hold on, don't just say that out loud here. They'll be eyeing us again. What, are you hoping to take away even more rotten veg? Gotcha. Are they really not Victorians? Of course they're Victorians. I'm getting more and more lost here. Some people would choose another word. Yeah, the one you've been hearing, Tarans. That's their identity. You have both the locals themselves who call them that, as well as a decent portion of the soldiers. Now that you put a fine point on it, I've heard the term before. In novels? In history textbooks. Right, they've always been here. Over hundreds of years ago, when it wasn't Cali Hillock yet, and we still hadn't built our nomadic cities. Back when it was all grass across the vales as far as the eye could see. This place was their home. I still remember the legend of the Draco King, Gale. Was he born right around here? Tara was the very first name of this region back then. Right. I've read heaps of novels about the saga of King Gale. King Gale led the Tarans in a conflict against the first Aslan king. But a few years later he signed a peace treaty along with the ruler of Londinium, didn't he? And here I was thinking. After that, the word Tara just sort of fell away. Before I came to County Hillock, I thought the same. But Victoria's always changing, isn't it? As Volray didn't always live here, but we're all Victorian citizens now. If everyone's minds went like that, we'd avoid plenty of conflict. No need to get you down, though. The whole reason we're here is to uncover the real enemy. Stop the clash getting any bigger, isn't it? So you'd rather not leave, even if it means a head full of rotten cabbage? You think I'm being a right dunce, don't you? No, not at all. Actually, you're pretty amazing to me. The patrol just now, I've seen masses of rough attitude like that. Not like I've never wanted to stop it, but I'm a guard of honor. That's all I am. And what's so bad about that? You're a member of Victoria's army too. Of course, you got the power to change the situation if it doesn't sit right with you. You... Do I really? Thank you. You're the first person who's ever told me that. Yeah. Next time, I'll give it a go. Oh, yeah, is there anything else I can help you with? Apart from picking these leaves off you, after all, I don't want to see this conflict boil over either. Let me think. Do you have any local friends with you can? I want to ask whereabouts Damien Barry usually went. Friends I've got. Darcy might know something. Give me a way to keep in touch, and I'll visit the newspaper in a moment. Don't think the Sergeant Major would mind if I'm missing today. Commandros. Colonel. I once saw your father, over 20 years ago at a ball that Duke Castor was holding. Of course, I was still a bottom-rung guard then, so all I had was a glimpse from afar at the White Wolf Count of Legend. Not long after, I heard a deformed feathered reptile struck illness into him at a Londinium Beast Life Garden. And he quickly took leave from the aristocratic circles. Ever since he hasn't taken a step beyond his manor at Portsmouth City. Your father's still in fine spirits? Thank you for your concern, and I hope reminiscing over these years-old affairs hasn't eaten up too much of your precious time. After all, meeting with you doesn't prove easy. You don't resemble your father. As is clear, my father did not have the opportunity to serve for the Empire's army like you or I do. Considering the theft of these military originium goods couldn't possibly relate to him, maybe we don't have a need for probing further into his later life. One's background decides what kind of person one becomes. Wouldn't you agree with that, Scamandros? I believe one has the right to choose one's own future. Listen to that. That'll be fitting an answer of your status. The progeny of the Aslan's Aid, first-class honors from the Royal Guard Academy, a Londinium Army upstart. Of course, you can believe you can change anything and everything. I have no intent to make such changes, Colonel. You don't need to worry about our squad potentially impacting your command over County Hillock. For a joke, I don't find that humorous at all. You can't be so arrogant as to think I'd occupy myself with a paltry little lieutenant. I've met people like you plenty. Always all braggadocio, skin deep and superficial. I deigned to meet with you because I wanted to tell you this. Don't interfere in things beyond your kin. I'm sorry, I can't agree to that. The orders we received were to ascertain the lost Originium product's whereabouts. If you stay still and wait where you ought to, then before long you might accomplish your duty and return to Londinium with all the ostentation you like. I don't need that ostentation of yours, and Victoria needs it even less. I'm not in the routine of reporting back with a hurriedly lopped-off head sans trial. You're telling me I have a disregard for human life, and you believe those people are truly innocent? How ridiculous. Just 10 days ago, 3 of our soldiers were murdered in cold blood. James Cohen, Robin Boris, and Jeremy Brown. When Cohen's wife wrote to tell him that she was with a second child, she had no idea that her husband had a hole gruesomely blown into his head. Boris could have left this place once midsummer passed. He mentioned he'd go back to continue his family's clothery after his retirement. Brown. He was a bright young student just a year ago, and not even 20 when he died. I give my profound regrets for their sacrifice. Regrets? What weightless rhetoric. Like every word that wafts out of your mouth. This is exactly why all of us want to catch hold of the assassinators. Colonel, on this matter I've held unanimous positions throughout. No one else but that Tara Robbo killed them. We have uncovered 2 already. But I know there are still more tucked in the background. 15 days ago, our barracks suffered an explosive attack at 3 simultaneous places, and according 15 soldiers lost their lives. The craters and the spilled blood of our own still lie where they were. 21 days ago, our resupply transport group was ambushed outside the distribution sector in the outskirts north, and the whole detachment together with their goods disappeared without a trace. Do you feel there is any possibility they would still be alive? This is only the last month's event to Butte. You know nothing at all of the losses we've since endured. These incidents you mention all sound very much in line with the Spectre Force's MO. In the past half year, Londinium has continuously received reports from more than 10 different counties, lodging up to hundreds of homicide, looting, and property damage cases. After every offense, they swiftly conceal their tracks, and all connected personnel we've seen them are caught in assassinations before they can contact us. We've been able to obtain exceedingly little information so far. That is why the lead before us is so crucial. We still don't know the Spectre Force's goal in haunting County Hillock, but I believe that they are our mutual enemy. Colonel, if we and the Barretts cooperate and uncover the Spectre Force here, it'll be of great benefit to County Hillock and Victoria as a whole. Huh. You still understand nothing at all. You treat the atrocities before you as just another case to win you a medal. One sec, I gotta check my phone. Alright, Uncle's asking me to get the dog, so pause right here. Got the dog in, got some water, and got a hug from Pearl, so everything is now good for continual military, whatever the heck's going on. Victoria's getting murdered. But you're wrong, soldier. This is not some case. And no such true culprit exists. This is a war. And it is between us and them. A war ongoing for decades, even for centuries. You call them a Spectre Force, but do you know what that name signifies? Who's the enemy we've been confronting all this time? Well, it's a ghost. It's a phantom drifting over the city, an apparition that echoes in the heads of Terran morons. It is a life and spirit ghost. And that specter speaks a different language to us. willfully distorts the history molded by our ancestors' hands, as illusions that by the body of our city it will one day return to life. Are you saying that a great amount of the local populace are supporters of the Spectre Force? Great amount? Supporters? No, you're mistaken. They are a single whole. Have you ever read this anthology of poetry? James Williams. His poems have some fame in Londinium, too. This is their very compilation of bare-faced lies about Victoria. And their depictions, they have their own language. They are this land's natural owners. Still, Victoria can tolerate the mindset of authors who come from differing cultural backgrounds. Dang it, Uncle, what do you want this time? Wasn't even anybody sending me a message, it was just my phone just giving me a push notification, because why not? No one would assume a dreamer's fantasy is their truth. Not unless that dream mentioned taking up a hatchet. Not unless it was about wanting to cut off our heads. I still keep this book as an idiot's sleep talk so that the bloodstains upon it always remind me. If one lives on Victoria's lands, yet refuses to give up one's own name in Victorian, then one is no longer a Victorian, but an enemy and menace to this country's safety. You executed the holder of this anthology? Simply because they... Reporting in. Speak. Command has lost contact with 9th Defense and 13th Defense after they were attacked. 5th, 7th, and 10th Defense each sent vanguards ASAP to the scene and did not find traces of the enemy. But of our own. They gave their lives. Did you hear that, Scamandros? Right as you were seeing fit to tell me sympathetic rubbish to the enemy, we once again saw outstanding soldiers die at their hands. If that's gotten through to your head, then kindly eject yourself from my office. I still have genuine work waiting for me. Fine. Very fine. I have my own work to do, too.
ごめんなさいね。まあ、これ
Ah,
があなたた
just
ちに
story
用
rock.
意された結末なの。
So now I can make refined solvent. I had to come all the way here to do it. So, what Jane was talking about with the Volverive,
ドクター、
Volverive, like Liskerm, are from a country in Sargon called Volverive. It's difficult to nail down exactly what culture Volverive was to begin with, because Sargon by itself is simultaneously South America, Southeast Asia, the Middle East. Sorry, say the Middle East, Southwest Asia. I shouldn't be calling it the Middle East, it's Southwest Asia. And the continent of Africa. So it's very difficult to nail down of which of those geographical regions Volverive is supposed to be based on with culture, because we don't really know much about Volverive culture. Because I think a lot of other countries are a bit racist against Volverive. They don't consider themselves like let me see if I can find it in Liskerm's own. Yeah, she's not from any prestigious bloodline.
私は背も小
And
さい
with
し
and with the bloodline, that would be like her specific race, and she's a Volreeve. And the place where she's from is known to have a lot of conflict involved with it, so a lot of people don't have a positive view of Volreeve. So many of them are immigrants to Victoria and Sargon, and it's kind of difficult to tell what, like, immigration, what generation of immigrant they are, because they've clearly been there for a while. They've got acclimated. One of the Volreeve that I don't have, let's see if I can find her in my support log. Redhead squad. Ondafons. Her name is Arnrode Bloodwells, which is extremely English. So, like, she has a very, very English name. It's clear that her family's been in Victoria for quite some time. So it's difficult to say how long that they've been there. Same with Bagpipe. She is also a Volreeve and she is extremely Scottish. So they've acclimated quite a bit to their region. It's something I'd like to learn more about. Also, an interesting thing about Volreeve is they're apparently simply built different, and they don't really get Oropathy all that well, simply because they just have extremely durable bodies. Out of all of the Volreeve that we have, only Tondafons is the one that has Oropathy, and that's considered, like, rather remarkable to have happened.
この部
Not
屋
that it's a good thing, mind you, but it's still
ドクター
it's still something of note.
お花を飾ってみませんか
Let me put the Carlon Trade Organization back to work.
構えるのにいい場所ないですかね
Yeah, it should be fine till tomorrow.
ドクター
I'm hoping at some point we get some more cultural information about that. The difficulty is that, and I've explained this on stream before, since Sargon is such a massive conglomeration of geographical regions, they don't do a very good job, except for like the Southwest Asia portion of it, because there are some Arabic influences in the mainland body of Sargon. And there's like some... You can see certain influences in Gaviel's tribe with the South American influences, but their culture isn't very well defined at all outside of that Southwest Asia thing. We don't know much about Volreeve. Much of Gaviel's tribe takes its influence from imports, so we don't know much about her tribe to begin with, other than they, fight each other all the time for sport, and it's not super positive. It kind of it's got that like uncivilized savagery associated with it. And it'd be nice if they went into more of the culture, like how they eat their food, like what do they do for sports, things like that. Not, hey, this imported pop music group we like a lot, we're gonna blast on the radios of our ziggurat. Anyway, back to the lore, back to reading. And it sounds like my emulator's starting to get a little crumbly again, so let's go ahead and reset it before we start reading.
Arknights.
That was Spectre. I know that was Spectre. I know what Spectre sounds like.
Doctor.
Aw, man. Gushing over magical girls is on J-Novel Club. That means it's probably never gonna get a physical copy. Dang it! So I gotta pull out my wallet. Hopefully, if I buy some digital version, it'll maybe make a physical. I don't know. Fuck this. I'm gonna.
目は覚めたかそれともまだ夢の中か
I don't even put a link on there. My god. Fine. 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 Calcit, I am awake. I am not still in a dream. I'm glad it's finally localized to English, but I'm mad because it's J-Novel Club. If it... I really like that series. I definitely feel obliged to, like, support it. I just wish it was a physical copy. Alright, back to... Not that. Okay, that. The downpour is here, the enemy is everywhere, and the frustration is slowly reaching the breaking point. "4:23 p.m. Cloudy, turning overcast. McMartin Brothers chip first floor. Still no reply? None. Haven't gotten a peep from Londinium yesterday or today. Been 20 hours. They have to have received my last telecoms by now. Could the encrypted line be faulty? Hard to say, sir. Being honest, it's been nearly 10 years since I graduated. Transferred to Hillock. There's not much information you need to activate this secret comms line. 2 years back, around the end, I reported to our group's boss, and he asked me if I had anything to say other than whatever number kid was being born. That if I hadn't, I could save even given the routine reports. Oh, no wonder you opened this chippy. Not a bad plan, right? Pro game's not chef for fun. Though at the time, suppose some outsider wanted to sniff out our liaison point. They'd only suspect next door's bookshop. Aye, right. Besides, your chips smell delicious, too. Oughta be, eh? You fill yourselves up now. Hillock's potatoes are high quality. Locals all love my chips. If I didn't still remember my actual job as a lamplighter, I would have opened up branches years ago. 5, 6 of them. Anyhow, I thought I was dreaming of the moment when I was in training again, when he gave me the secret nod at the door yesterday. Seems highly likely this line was abandoned long ago. Or perhaps someone's received our info but doesn't want to reply. I mean, there's people intercepting our intel on purpose, leader? Not easy to say yet. We'll send the next report as we would originally. Right? And besides Triangle's findings, add on the outcome of my dialogue with Colonel Hamilton. The Colonel's targeted measures against a portion of the residents are already extremely suspicious. In the worst case, I'd like for our team to be allowed more flexibility. That sounds like there's no point in convincing you to use a barracks messenger, is there? Ugh. Leader, I don't want to say this, but we're a little low on numbers. That definitely isn't like you to say. Relax, though. Nobody wants to take that step. But the circumstances surrounding this city are far more complicated than any of us foresaw. Jeff, seeing as you've been in County Hillock for so long, how do you feel about the people here? Nothing unusual to me. Put a Terran in front of me right now, I wouldn't fancy them much different from a Victorian anywhere else. To tell the honest truth, if life's not bad, who'd want to make it trouble all the long day? Quite a few wear idols on their sleeve, but only a minority really ever take to heart. Most just care about filling their stomachs, and if they're full, they can care about the purse, too. Right you are. I can barely imagine Damien Barry caught up in the Spectre Force either. In my eyes, him and the locals were all normal people. Scared stiff, begging for mercy the moment they were arrested, coming together when a loved one dies just so they could fall to pieces and weep. But nothing like trained soldiers at all. What you're saying is exactly what I'm worrying about. Colonel Hamilton might be spouting more than just alarmist talk. When ordinary people take up weapons, voluntary or not, the disaster we then face will be the likes of which Victoria hasn't seen for a very long time. Afternoon, Sorosy. Lucky me, I was just about to find you at the newspaper. Huh? What's wrong, Sorosy? Were you just crying? Janie, no, I'm alright. I'm perfectly fine. Pull the other one. Your eyes are all puffy and your skin and your face is pale as sheets. Sorosy, I know, would never be caught in a street looking this ghastly. Something gave you a nasty shock, didn't it? Who bullied you? Was it that soldier from last time? I'll help you think of something. There has to be something. No, Janie, don't you fuss. He hasn't come bothering me again. I don't know how to put it. Come on, deep breaths. Me right here. You're a very good friend. You're safe now, I promise. Janie. Why? Why are you one of them? What are you talking about, Sorosy? I don't understand. I don't want you to get hurt. You're the best friend I have, and you're a good person. I'm good too, right? My ma, Da, cousin? Aren't we all good people? Your cousin Barry? You mean Damien Barry? So sorry I wasn't fast enough. Not your fault, and I don't think it's mine. Just want to live life peacefully. I don't want to see any more people I care about die. Cry it out, Sorosy. I'm here with you. Seeing a loved one pass on and still having to manage your work, it's too much pressure on you. Here. Lean on my shoulder. It'll be more comfortable. That's okay. Thank you, Jamie. I'm much better just seeing you. I understand what I have to do now. This is for you. This is an address. I could give you a few names too, but there's no need. I don't want to put you in even more danger. This address should be enough. You can hand it to someone you think's reliable. Your sergeant major or maybe another officer like Uncle Lewis. I know there's people asking around about Damien. They want to be clear what it is we're plotting. Plotting? Sorosy, even you? Not sure. You can believe me, or not. I've only been responsible for passing on some info in some way. I A few notes stuck between book pages. One or two hidden signals in the Hillock Evening News' classifieds. I used to think this was for making everyone safer. I didn't twitch what dreadful things they're scheming. Not until the dispatch I just heard from the editor. Never mind that. I'm not trying to justify myself or even repent. What's important is you stop them as soon as you can. Alright? I will. I'm sure of who I should give this to. They'll barely treat you all more than anyone else would. Dorsey, please don't be scared. Everything will be alright. Alright, Janie. I trust you. Remember, it's 8 p.m. Hold on to this address tight. East side of the statue at District 10. Third alleyway on the left. The bookshop there with a flower pot by the door. Yellow Road. Found it. 2 bagpipe. Do I just leave it under the flower pot like this and call it a loose brick right there, exactly like they said this morning? This really is an unusual way of receiving your letters. Friend from Londinium, I hope you can be of help to Sorcy. All of us. Boss, someone left a new slip downstairs under a yellow rose. Bring it in. A yellow rose? So it's for me? That was fast. The informer you mentioned before? Aye, she's a soldier at the barracks too, but I can assure you, leader, she's warm-hearted. She's good. I hope you've gotten an eye for people. No worries. My eyesight's always been brilliant. What's it say on the slip? 109 Dam Street, tonight, 8 p.m. Oh. Dam Street. The boundary between districts 10 and 11. Rings bells for me. It's Baron Bolton's estate. Looks like there's an important meeting tonight. Bagpipe, we should go. This is where you were. That's right. Sipping hot tea, skimming the paper, doing things befitting a woman of my age. Yeah, strong wind picking up. Found what you were looking for? When you want to find tomorrow, you go meet with yesterday. You can speak Tauren? Can't speak much of it at all. What you hear is what you hear is what you get. Just showing off what I learned. Hard to believe Oliver was right. You're an incredible one. You get a nice rush the first time you impress somebody. But there's diminishing returns on the second and third round. Nobody at our office even knows how to speak Tauren. Considering your backgrounds, that's reasonable. Oliver grew up in a middle-class household in North Londinium. Family roots in Gaul. He lives upstairs from the office these days, taking some time off every year to go back and see his wife and children. Fred's more or less an apprentice from County Peninsula. He's got a bunch of brothers and one little sister, and the whole family gets along like a dream. Will's a local. His clan moved decades ago from a fixed village nearby, and his Tauren blood's probably from his parental grandmother. You've looked at our data? Do I look like the type who does homework? Not my style. Then, how do you know? Language. Name, pronunciation, wording, tone, even where you pause, language tells a keen ear more than you could ever guess. I heard about how sancta extraordinary are. I never figured. Really, it's just a hobby of mine. Anyhow, language itself holds a special significance for some folks. Why else would the Tarns have cared so much about digging a sample of their own language out of a pile of old books? Not wrong, half a decade ago, barely any Tarns regularly spoke it. And you? You probably heard it in me. I'm not a Tarn, my wife was. She only taught me a word or two while she was still alive. Yet nowadays you see that gradually dying language all over the newspaper. Plus, I just overheard someone outside the window teaching kids how to call each other in Tarn. Till you mentioned it, I never noticed. Language binds people together tighter than most things. A language doesn't get diluted over time like bloodlines do. It doesn't get weighed on the scales cost-benefit analysis like everything else. Looks like there's some out there who want to exploit those ties. Bring back the community that's been loosened away. But with that, the gatherings that already were lost their stability. Victoria won't just sit back and let this play out right underneath his nose. Yet the harder you pull, the harder the backlash will snap. You all know why I came, don't you? Actually, I'm not that sure. I just feel like you wouldn't need to bother an elite operator to go fetch data in person. Numbers on paper don't mean a thing unless seeing it with your own two eyes. Put it that way. I really am here fetching data. Could you just tell me one more thing? In the last 6 months, how many local businesses suspended collaboration with us? 7. That's 3 on top of last month's report. And in modern Victoria, when any wind stirs the grass, the big merchants' wallets are the first to feel it. Need to head out. Get a few more eyefuls of this place. Make it before the city gets drowned in dirty rain. Leader, you've had your eyes valve wrinkled ever since this morning. We don't have much time to go. This Spectre Force move is inconsistent in ways with past incidences. Their execution was covert before. Rapid. Every time we thought to chase them, we'd find the leads wiped clean. Ow. Oh, like they finished knitting a jumper and they just jumped on ends on the floor. Barely any idea of how each end is linked to. Moreover, these leads have all cut off at County Hillock. Not just you. I'm feeling trapped as heck too. This city is just like a pressure cooker, sealed shut. The residents, the barracks, everyone's twitching, everyone getting jumped in arms everywhere anytime. Everyone's waiting. Waiting for when the first bolt strikes. But if it does truly strike, what will this city? No. What will Victoria become? Leader? Somebody's tailing us. So they are. See that alley to the west? Understood. Stop where you are. Ugh. Hold on, what? It's a little barn. You look kind of familiar too. Oh. Oh, sorry, I'll let go now. I thought it'd be some baddie following us. Ball. Dropped your ball, so you came over here to pick it up? I'll ask you to hurry home now. It's not too safe here. Your mom and dad'll worry for you if you go running all over. False alarm, Lita. Just one child? No. That doesn't seem quite right. It wasn't just one person following us. And the fact that they could go several streets without us noticing means they definitely have experienced tailing. Did you see anyone out of the ordinary just now when you head up high? If I had to say, there was a street not too far from here with a particularly bright ring I caught a glimpse of. Sancta. Let me get a piece of cake and this apple pie. And I'll have some of them cookies too. Let's call. Warren's been telling me to lay out the sweets. Hey there, quick question. Which of these cakes is the sweetest? Like you don't know? Come on, you've been in Hunt County Hillock a while, haven't you? If I had to guess, probably over 3 years of service. Who are you? Calm down. I could tell. And the nice folks you're following sure could too. Your cover's blown anyway, why don't you try some of this apple pie I bought? It's good, I'm telling you. You weird, mad Sancta. Where did you come from? Why are you trying to get in my way? Me? I'm not, I'm just passing through. Team 12, target lost, but judging by the direction they disappeared, it's likely they're heading for Dam Street. Alright, I understand. I'll bring them straight away. We'll check through one by one. I'm warning you, Sancta, if it's not yours to meddle, don't meddle. Warning me? If I had a nickel for every time I heard that. You know, I ain't exactly used to walking around unarmed. I've got no time to listen to you talk big. Soldiers, we're moving. You can breathe now, shopkeep. Soldiers are all gone. Mind bagging up the sweets for me? I got some folks back in the office who ought to try them. After all, it's about time I called my little friends back from their field work.
もし仲間が一人急に姿を消してもパニクんなよ。
Oh, clicked on the wrong thing.
信号は安定、即戦即決。
Stay alert.
Up, up.
動かないで。
Welcome, set.
How do I want to do this?
やってみましょう。
手加減はしませんよ。
ここでいいや。
Setting up.
始まるよ。
Dublin Phalanx Infantry. Phalanx infantry near each other will support one another, raising their defense. When refraction is active, resistance plus 70. Okay. You know what I say to that? I say, welcome to the, welcome to the Podanko Ruins Your Day fund.
しますね。
Oh, nope. Nope. Okay, nope.
私は一歩も引きません。
Because they're shooting... They shooting Podanko, and Podanko is made of paper.
信号は即戦即決。
Oh, I keep clicking out of OBS. Hang on, hang on.
はい。
Do that.
皆さんの援護は任せてください。動かないで。
ここだここ。目の前真っ暗になってねえか。
Come on, run into it. There we go.
絶対許しません。
Setting up.
こんにちは。
Oh yeah, your defense doesn't mean nothing against Alsta. Look at that. Look at that.
信号は安即戦即決
Deployed.
Goodbye.
気をつけてね。
Danko just tears these guys up.
動かないで。私のでみんな頑張って。私の剣が石章の影をまとう。
Deployed.
落ち着いて。はい。
Goodbye.
皆さんの援護は任せてください。ええ。わかりました。
Welcome.
俺が見えないだろ。
私なら大丈夫。はい。
Do that. Do that.
リラックスして。リラックス動かないで。こちらアーミー、私を舐めるなよ。
Mission accomplished.
Honorable lady, I am most privileged to inform you the dinner party is all ready. So slow. You aristocrats taking your sweet time with everything you do. You're a nightmare. It was my inadequate reception. Please permit that I express to you my most sincere apologies. You can save your breath. How many will be coming today exactly? All of County Hillock's fine minds have received the invitation, including our most widely celebrated bard as of late, Seamus Williams. Bard? I'm bored dead already. What about the nobles and merchants you promised to find? Of course, they'll all be coming too. For example, the leader within the South Region's textile industry, Sir Pollitt, recipient of the Makano Prize, Dr. Bashir, and the owner of more than 10 steelworks, Mr. Evans. Oh? These people you mentioned. Especially that last one. They're definitely coming? Yes, and a portion of them have already arrived. I hear a most honorable guest has turned up. And quite a few celebrity intellects from other cities have come flocking to, all for a glimpse of you and your compatriots' presence. Oh yes, as per your request, I've drawn up this list of names for your perusal whenever you should... Bit too many words. But you've done a good enough job. Alright, you can head off now. Deeply grateful for your generous praise. Once you're ready, please inform me. I simply cannot wait to see this ordinary little parlor of mine be dazzlingly belighted by your arrival. Are you still here? Weren't you done talking? Please allow me one last question. That most honorable lady there. Have we even the sliver of a chance that she might alight on the venue too? That's not yours to ask. Clear off. Mandragora, what has gotten you feeling all flustered? Less of that. Tongue-in-cheek, giving me reflux. We all know you'd never really give a shit about anyone, Harmony. Then I'll have to put it another way. You've been blocking my light with your half-wit ambling. I'd like to finish reading this lovely novel, dear. Are all of you rich people like this? Hang instruments on a wall, buy a few books. Act like you're filling the windows so nobody notices you've got nothing at all in your heads. I'll take having a window to fill over having nothing of anything inside or out, wouldn't you say? You. Now, you're not too happy to calm down for a while, I see. How about this? Which foot forward bothers you most so much in this party you know nothing about? I can be your lead for the dance. What complete shit are you on? Picking up bigger things. With this many nobles and merchants coming, if we can get their support, then forget just occupying one scant little hillock. We could snatch the whole of Londinium. Mandragora, time to hold still. At this point, can't you just let that grotty old book of yours go? Don't you even think for 1 second about anything important to the leader or me? I'm not saying anything about your oh-so-helpless gait. I'm saying take your roller coaster babble and hold it still. And all that absurdity you're exhausting your little brain with, too. You telling me to hold it in now? As if I could. Laying out and assigning roles, swallowing my sick to set up this meeting up. How much of me do you think I've poured out for this plan? I couldn't wait since forever ago. I can't wait. For Dumblin's fire is to burn this city through and rip this lie of a titan under our feet apart. And you, huh? You and that shameless fake taking what should be the glorious of the whole leader. Is it really? It is really, really, really time for you to shut up now. At what point was your job to make decisions for the leader? It's me. Yes, we're still here. Oh. Things have gotten a little interesting at long last. Seems we've no need to scrape in here about whether your little schemes of insolence are feasible or not. Is it news from that bastard? Someone sniffed out this location. I have a feeling it'll be more than your friendly little invites coming to the meeting tonight. People from the army. More or less. My, maybe some of my acquaintances too. God on high, I want to put away your staff. You'll get your chance. But it won't be now. It's time we go. We've got other things to do. Leave it to her in here. We might be in for a good show before you know it. I was starting to fantasize about how it'd look if this horrible room broke down into slag. Later, I didn't imagine slipping in would be as easy as this. Here I thought would have to find a way to infiltrate. Not out of the question. That said, go in the proper way. It's more convenient to find a conversation partner. Guess my friend at the barracks got some real precious information. Can't be that many who know about this meeting. A lot of secret aristocrat parties are held this way. They usually think of invitation letters as passé. So long as you have a channel to tap for info, plus a token as proof of identity, you have what you need to pass the doorstep. You never told me your family was all big famous nobility. Does it make a difference? When I was in school, the noble students always stuck with their own. Of course, they studied together, but after school they never did much with the rest of us if they could help it. Don't tell me you actually like all the pomp and formality. Ceremonial gowns you only wear once, the trending look changing every week, courtesy greetings ad nauseum. Don't even remind me. I actually went to that kind of thing once or twice with a good friend and just trying to remember which fork to eat first with. And my head want to explode on the spot. Perfect. I'm not much of a fan either. Even if I'm loath to admit it, just having this family name does come in handy once in a while. Leader, people coming here today, are they all supporters of the Spectre Force? I don't necessarily think so. Mr. Williams, I finally get to meet you. I heard you were coming and came bolting right over from County Peninsula. just to ask if you could sign the anthology in my collection here. Of course, fine lady. It would be my honor. Seamus, my dearest great bard, here you were. I just finished reading your newly published Tales from History. Such fascinating writings. I was the first to learn that us Terrans had such a grand storied past. Thank you, but they're works of fantasy, adapted from an array of folk legends. The greatest value of my work is simply unearthing gems buried by sandstorms. All the better for more to see. You truly are too modest. The Draco King Gale you penned, founding by himself the most radiant culture that was Tara. He stood grand and wise, so much that my dreams are flush with emotion. He's part of them all. Yes, too true. In my eyes, you're like to Lithanian's great musicians with a chance to make change to an entire era. I must say you greatly exaggerate. So long as you wanted, all of Victoria's publishers would be wide open to you, every one of them waiting to translate your works into the ink of different languages. And when that happens, every county across the land will realize our Terran culture has its own unique charm, not to be stifled by the ever-same grumble of Victoria's machines. If only things could be so wonderful. If more and more international figures come to support us, our voices will be so much more easily heard by the dukedom and the parliament. Right you are. I'm a Victorian citizen, same as anyone else, but just because some great-great-great-grandfather of mine was King Gale's subject, suddenly I'm being asked to pay so much more inheritance tax. How preposterous. Even so, Mr. Evans, you still give vigorous employ to plenty enough of our own fellows, providing everyone the chance to gain their footing upon this city of grace. No wonder you and your clan are the pride of us Terrans. Aha, quite right, our fellows. It's far from easy to find any respectable work. I hear they toil in the factories for a week, and they earn ye little coin. The Victorian workers from other backgrounds are able to earn twice as much in your factories. Allow me to say something perhaps a little out of fashion. It's far from simple to have our neighbors of strength acknowledge us, isn't it? Please, think about it, everyone. Were it only with its music and poems, how could Lithanian become the Lithanian of today? Just as Lithanian has casters that imitate, we Tyrants must depend on more practical power if we want to gain recognition, such as the technological support of some friends from abroad. And by pure luck, I have the tiniest means of which I receive sponsorship. I'd be overjoyed to take the opportunity to let the friends of the Baron share it. You are absolutely spot on. Any subsidy is of great importance. If you let it all pass by you, then no matter how deft your tongue, you watch for the day it dries up and lacks the power to express. From that perspective, I'm the same as everyone here. We are yearning for a whole new era. So, why not give toast to this common dream of ours? Truly, an evening to inspire. How strange. Where did Mr. Williams get off to? Good evening, Mr. Williams. Greetings, ma'am. I hope I'm not bothering you. Are you writing? Just a small poem. Been several days now and I haven't finished it. I was thinking this meeting would give me some inspiration, but it seems now there's no forcing the muse. These settings always like to use a person's energy too quickly. Do you also feel a little worn out? Got red-handed. If it weren't for Charles... I mean, if it weren't for the Baron inviting me so ardently, I would have preferred to spend the night reading by my own fireplace. Wouldn't we all? I bet every person willing to participate in this sort of thing is forced to for a living. I like that way of putting it. You're not a Tauren, ma'am, are you? You guessed correctly. I imagine a lupo's a rare sight among the residents here. I've inadvertently judged background by race. Although you're deliberately choosing vocabulary we're more used to, your accent still exposes you. The accent only a Victorian noble receiving a standard Londinium education would have. No wonder you're a great bard. Extremely sharp. The first step to writing is observation. I can tell. You and they have differing purposes for coming. You're suspecting me? Suspecting what? I'm only here to exchange some ideas, and you're exchanging with me right now. No matter if I'm not a Tauren? Precisely because you're not. A glass of malt litter, thank you. Would you like anything to drink, ma'am? I'll be fine. Standing in the window breeze is plenty for me. Then we'll continue our merry chat. What were we just saying? Right. Yes. Words and writing were born for the purpose of exchange, including both conversations past and future. And this talk between you and I, here and now. You're the only one allowing me. If you used Tauren, I'd be as good as death. In this party, you'll be hard-pressed to hear any Tauren. It just clicked for me, actually. All those works of yours I've read are written in Victorian. Rhyming confines a poet's imagination. Characteristically, Victoria's poems, when you read them, are very unlike Lithuanians. I much love reading poems written in Old Tauren. Reading the writing is like touching upon, feeling another face of history. But I have no plans to pass myself off as anything. I grew up speaking Victorian, my thoughts are molded by the language. And if I started to write in Tauren instead, I'd be a clown dancing in shoes far too big for him. I hear there are many longing for the revival of Tauren culture. Of course, I'm one of them. Our city roams upon the land, the soil unchanging, yet at the same time change constantly happening. Perhaps a day will come when Tauren once again becomes the building blocks of our children's minds, and I'd be willing to embrace such a transformation. And if there are those who wish this change to be rapid, an explosion even, reversive of the natural 10, what is the use of an idea? You are planting a feather in the ground, imagining it growing into a foul beast. From the first poetry anthology you published, one of my favorites. That is my answer to this question of yours. In my own view, I can't, and have no thought to alter this soil. I am simply the one trying hard to plant feathers. And ideas fundamentally ought to be free, with no one who can interfere. Each feather that grows in each person's heart may be totally unlike, just as we all have different hopes for the future of this great swath of soil. I understand, Mr. Williams. Allow me to speak from the heart. It's been truly pleasant to chat with you. Leader, something's not right. What is it? Jello's lot have been gone over 40 minutes without sending anything. Weren't they meant to be dealing with the troops at the barracks? You told them to send a message every half hour. Right as we set off, Cello was even cripping at me how this mission was too boring. And on top of that, don't you feel it's a little too quiet all around? I've been keeping watch at the window. Ought to be able to see people going in and out of the plaza. Then all of a sudden, it's was like something happened. And everyone scarpered away. Don't tell me. The one trailing us before we were at the barracks? The ballroom's doors are kicked open without warning. Dozens of soldiers, armed to the teeth, come charming in. Good heavens, what's happening? Why the sudden show of force? You have the audacity to point weapons at me? Do you understand who we are? Who is it? Who let the secret out? Damn it, blast, we need to get out of here, quick! Hurry, go inform Madame Mandragora. Just say we've got trouble. What? You mean they're all gone? When did this happen? A whole hour ago? You're useless! All of you, stay where you are! Ladies and gentlemen, yes, no mistake, you have been utterly captured.
Always think ahead.
Listen to Frost. She says, always think ahead. You don't come into a situation where you're set up with the army behind you. And this is 9-6. We will not be doing 9-6 because I have been streaming for 3 hours and my voice needs a break. This is the compound cutting fluid. I need like 37 of these things. So we are gonna end with 9-5. I hope you enjoyed my 3 hours of reading Arknights. So I'm gonna end it here, and I'm gonna see if there's anybody I can possibly raid, because I have done all the things that I have wanted to do for today. And I feel like I'm kind of like suddenly just really cutting it short, but I'm out of breath. So hang on just one sec. Let me catch my breath first. Where the heck is my water? Okay, so I got some water, I'm calmed down now. I kind of like Mandragora. She has a bit of a foul mouth, and she seems to have an issue with nobility. I hope we get to see more of her. I'm sure we will. And Harmony... Harmony. She seems more playful, and they seem really catty with each other. So that should be fun. Fun fact, we already know that Harmony is going to become a Rhode Island operator. We know this because if you check her sprite, you will see that she has a Rhode Island, one of those sensor bands around her tail. And the only way that you can get those is if you're an employee of Rhode Island. So it'll be interesting to see how we get to that point. And I know that Reed is going to be a very important character as well, so we'll be seeing a lot, so the next time I will be streaming Chapter 9 will be next Friday. Because Saturday and Sunday, and Monday and Thursday are red ticket days. And I always grind red ticket days for the full amount. Then Tuesday and Wednesday are both chip grinding days because I need to get all the chips I need for the Maria and Neural event, or rather just the Neural events that are going to happen in about a month. So Friday is the only day I can really spare to do stages that aren't one of those 6 things. But we just chip at it like a little bit this week, a little bit next week, maybe the week after that, probably not for another couple weeks after that, but then the 4th week we might be able to get through it. And I'm sure it'll go over real well. Let's go to Rob Teaches. Rob Teaches is kind of a cool guy. He's a teacher, as his name suggests. And, he's got a bit of a chill chill stream, so why don't you go say hi? Maybe give him a follow. He's playing Elden Ring, so if you're playing Elden Ring, probably shouldn't stay for too long, but just let him know I said hey, okay? And, I'm sure that'll go over super well. Have fun, everybody.